Hello everyone and welcome back to the Unic restoration. It's a cold and frosty Saturday morning here in Norway, and I'm about to bring my tank for the molasses up to my workshop. I had it stored for years and finally had the chance to use it. It's been standing inside my crypt where I have all the unnecessary parts and rusty projects that I'm going to continue with in the future. So I'm going to move this one up to the workshop now. Shouldn't be too hard, it was very light. It was of course all the way back in the room, so I have to move it all over the Opel Blitz axles and everything that I have stacked inside here. So it was an interesting task, but I made it. I got, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4 Opel Blitz chassis here. This one is a 1942 Allrad, and there are some various engine and Opel Kadett, or maybe it could be a Kettenkrad engine in the future. Also another Opel Blitz engine and some other wrecks I have saved, and big heavy parts that I don't want to store upstairs to take all the space. It's good to have a place to put all the scrap. Beautiful weather today, but it's very cold. It's around 14 Celsius minus. But it's typical weather in Norway this time of the year. The tank is finally inside. I had to cut open the wall, remove some insulation, and push it through a hole in the wall. But now I can cut away the top, and I will take this tracks, split it in half, make 2 pieces of it, use the steel beam in the roof so I can lift the tracks up, put them inside, add some water, add some molasses, and see what will happen. After some weeks it should be much easier to disassemble the track links and all the small bolts and all the track pins and the rubber pads that are very stuck at the moment. So it's going to be interesting to see how the molasses will work on this. Also this week I will start with cleaning the axle, removing all the grease inside, old oil residue. I bought some chemicals here that I will spray on, let it sit for a couple of days and continue. And I see this week the weather forecast says it's going to be a lot warmer outside, so it may be possible for me to start my sandblasting equipment, since it's not so cold. I have a quite big screw compressor, and it doesn't start if it's too cold, so hopefully it will fire up again. We need to secure many of the small bits and pieces, protect them so I don't destroy anything. Also some of the parts here must come off before I start sandblasting. So I have a lot to do also this week. Here we can see the front axle I disassembled some weeks ago. It's about ready to be sandblasted also, but I need to cover the holes so I don't destroy the smooth finish on the inside. Also, I've been doing some research to try to find a new pair of leaf springs that I can rebuild so they fit the Unic, because when I bought my Unic it was missing the front axle, and there was only one leaf spring package, this one that is laying right here. But the Unic of course have some very small eye to the leaf spring here, and I had some Ford truck leaf spring that I was planning to use, but of course this eye here is too big and it does not fit inside the holders on the frame. So then I need to find another solution to this problem. I've been doing some research the last days now to try and find another vintage car that could have something that I can make work, so it's going to be interesting to see, because if I had them then it would be some real quick job to finish up the front axle with the brake drums and the hubs and everything and put it back on the chassis. So this beauty over here can start looking like a half track again soon. I feel like the worst is over for this project now, except the tracks. It's going to be a lot of work with the tracks, but all these parts, when it's sandblasted and ready to be assembled and painted again, then it's only the fun work left. It seems like I will have a lot of work that I need to do also this week, so let's get started. Since I have the chance to start the sandblaster this week, I think I also will sandblast the axle. So I will remove the internal gears and put the covers on, and the covers over there, and also the bell housing for the differential, so it's not going to be any sand that is coming inside. I think that will be the easiest solution. Then I will sandblast the whole part all together. I'm starting to remove the track pin so I can put this track inside the solution, and just by using 40 VD and a little hammer work, then it's finally coming loose, one of the track pins. Come out about 1 centimeter maybe, so this track link is destroyed, but I have many of these pieces, so if I offer one I think it will be okay, but I'm sure it will be much easier to remove the rest after putting the whole track in the solution, because they are of course hollow and made of some weak steel, so it's not so easy to try and push anything here when there are holes drilled and holes in the center. So it's going to be interesting to see how we will fix this. I have given the track a little mechanical cleaning before I put it inside the tub with the solution. There was a lot of plastic remains, concrete, moss, all kinds of terrible things down inside all the holes and everywhere. So if I can remove as much as possible, and then it will be maybe better for the solution that are removing the rust. That was the plan. So now I can cut open the top of the tub and put this track inside. Then I will clean the other track that I have over here. It's a little bit shorter, so it will take a little bit less time. And then it's going to be very interesting to see how well this molasses process will work. Here we can see another set of tracks. All the old gummy stoppers to hold the track in place that used to be square and nice, but have totally dissolved over the years. So I will remove all this rubber residue and try to remove some of the worst oil and concrete and all the other crap that is on the tracks before I put them also in the tub. It's going to be good space, but it's a lot of height, so it will require quite an amount of water. I have decided to just try with one track first. Then I have a small piece attached to a wire here, so I can check it now and then. It's a track link that are the same metal and the same condition as the track itself, but it will be a lot easier to remove that little piece. And I realized that one bottle of this molasses ready mixed will need around 60 gallons of water, or 225 liters. So I at first was thinking I could put both the tracks inside, but I think I will only take one, so the correct mix will cover all the tracks, so it will be as strong solution as it needs to be. going to be interesting to see if it worked at all. I never tried this before, but it seems good when I see it on other YouTube videos, so why not try it when I have the equipment and the molasses here. So let's try it. And the last remaining tracks I will take in another couple of weeks when this one has been tested out and cleaned, and maybe it's possible to put it inside and use the same solution, or else I need to buy one more bottle of this molasses. It was not so expensive, it cost around 25 euros. So it's not a big investment compared to other chemicals that are available for this kind of solutions. Sadly, when it's winter, we have packed away all the garden hoses and stuff, and it's 10 minus today, so I have to carry a lot of buckets from the house to fill this, but I have to get started, and I'm sure it will go quick, maybe, we will see. Smells really strange. It smells like Kilkenny or some dark beer. Finally the brew is finished. I'm not sure if it will be drinkable later, but I really hope that the tracks will look a little better and it's more easy to remove the track pins. It's quite messy process. I had to use a lot of hot water to mix it before I poured it into the tub here, so we will see how this goes, and I'm wondering how the smell will be inside the workshop here the next coming days. But if it will be a big problem with the smell, then I will put the lid back on, tape around and make some air pipe that goes through the wall or something. So I don't get bothered by this, but I think it will be alright. I can't believe how sticky it was. It's really thick like syrup. If I had used cold water, it would not mix. I had to use hot water to get a good mix before I poured it in the tub. The last track is finally cleaned, and it was a lot of dirt and debris on it. And now I should start focusing on preparing a shipment of parts, because next week I'm traveling south in Norway to deliver my Unic engine. So I'm organizing a little bit of the parts, checking that I have all the bolts and small pieces and everything, so this engine restorer don't need to struggle and find new bolts. Some of these parts, like the clutch, need restoration. There's lacking all the membrane on the plates, has to be remade. Also the carburetors will be restored. I was hoping that the metal parts was similar to some other carburetors I have, so I could take some parts like this one and send with him, but so far I haven't seen. I have a big collection of various carburetors for several vehicles, but of course they don't even look like this one, so I have to see what I do there. Also, I will send with one gearbox at least, so he can test start the engine, because the start motor is here. I don't have the start motor yet, but I have a guy in France that have offered me to buy one, so I have to hurry up and make a deal there. This one is the original that was on my Unic when I bought it. Also, I think it's smart of me to take a control, open the hatches and see what this looks inside before I send it. But at least this one I have controlled. It looks brand new inside, but the main gear box cover I have not opened yet. So I have to do this in the beginning of next week. In France I was lucky to find several sets with new head gaskets. And here you can see the cylinder head. I have not cleaned it. It actually was like this when I removed the top. So it seems to be in very good condition. But this engine was also running when it was parked in 1975, so maybe that's the reason. And it has some low mileage, I think. And there are a new distributor and some parts. This is the thruster bearing, I think it's called, for the clutch. It's actually from Opel, but it seems to have the same size as the Unic thruster bearing, so I think I can use a Opel bearing actually. There you can see fits the holder just perfect, and there will be a spring that goes on the back here and is holding it all in place. This is the spark plugs that was on the Unic when I bought it. One of the spark plug holes maybe had some damage one time in history, so they have used like a what is called an instrument so they can fix the threads or something. This is not very good, so I have to fix the cylinder head, because what is happening here, that the spark plug is too far back in the cylinder head, and it can affect the performance of the engine. So I think this has to be fixed, so the engine will not overheat or do some crazy shit. Some days ago I called the Blasting guy if he have some time to come in the beginning of next week. I think it would be good to make a proper cleaning on these parts before I send them. I think there are some interesting original paint. Here you can see there is some red marking paint. It's something that the Germans did around the service areas, such as the grease connectors and everything. And I think this one has some nice color to it if it would been cleaned. And here we have the engine itself, the Unic engine, complete and good, but it has a major frost damage here that has to be fixed now when I'm sending it down south. It was really nice inside after all these years it's been standing outside, and it was turning. If I see here if I can try and turn it with the hand. No. Let's try and see if I can turn it around. Perfect. So I think it will be easy to restore this engine. It has some issues, but it's a very good basis for restoration. The radiator fan is from another vehicle, and it's bent, it's broken, it has destroyed my radiator. It's maybe a little bit too big. So I have found in my storage a fan from a Opel Capitan 1950 that I think will be a little better for this Unic. Maybe in the future I can find a original fan that should be in some alloy, casted alloy or magnesium or something, but I'm sure it will work nice for a while. This is the bolt where the hand crank goes. It seems to have been repaired or made of a big nut one time in history. This I cannot use, but I have several Opel engines, and many of these engines have good pieces like this. So I will take a piece like this from a spare engine that I have, and I have a lot of Opel hand cranks, and I'm sure they would work just as great. This is kind of a universal part, so most of these hand cranks are the same dimensions. Most of these water pumps, they don't have any simmerings inside. They use this squared thread seals that are maybe greased with some solution or oil of some kind, and that will make it watertight. Luckily I got one of these when I was in France, because this kind of parts is not so easy to find anymore. The flywheel also seems to be in very good condition. There is no damage on the teeth, so no need to do anything there, other than maybe resurface the area where the clutch disc touches. But we will see what they say, the engine restorer. That was all we had time for this week. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and then I'll see you again next week. Have a nice weekend.